Tobias Harris is back, coming back to the Detroit Pistons. It looks like he will be a primary free agent target for this franchise. Some people seem like they're a little bit disappointed with that idea. I, for one, am actually quite intrigued by it. I think there are individuals who want to get back to winning immediately with this franchise, within this fanfare, who want to see this franchise get back to the glory of old. But I keep telling you that you cannot skip steps. You cannot skip steps. And Tobias Harris might be precisely the next step that this team is needing and likely the best option for this offseason. When we look at the makeup of this team, we're looking at a team that is extremely talented but also extremely young. This is a team that has to learn what it means and what it looks like to win in the NBA. This is something that I often talk about is not an easy process. And it is only helped all the more when you have veterans who are on the roster as well, especially who have a primary focal point. Bojan Bogdanovic was a great kind of balancing agent for that starting unit early on when he was with this team last season. But I think Tobias Harris is somebody who can be that much better. When you look at Tobias Harris over the years, he has been a consummate winner. He's somebody who plays winning basketball. He does the little things. He does the big things. He gives you the shot creation. He gives you the positional size. He gives you the work ethic. He gives you the health. He gives you a guy who understands what winning is and how to do so on teams that have the greatest of expectations. When you saw what he was able to do in Philadelphia, able to contribute to winning, I think he had like a +6 win share where he was able to contribute at a high level, especially when they had all the other requisite stars around him. He fit in perfectly. He wasn't somebody who needed to dominate the ball. He wasn't somebody who needed to be that focal point of the offense. He was able to plug in and play at a high level. And that is precisely what this roster is needing. I know a lot of individuals are still interested in Brandon Ingram, but I'm not. Someone who does not shoot the three ball at a high level and needs to dominate the ball in order to be maximally effective. All that says to me is that you're taking the ball away from Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. You need to be the number one option in order to be at your best. But you're not the number one option. In fact, we need you to play more of a complementary role to Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. We need you to be a mentor. We need you to be a guiding force, somebody who can stabilize, knock down the shots, create when necessary, right? Calm everyone down and say, this is how you do this. That's exactly what Tobias Harris is. And so when we look at what he can contribute, one of the things I want to point out is he has great positional size. At 6'9" with about a 7'2" wingspan, he has the ability to guard small forwards and power forwards, and potentially even small ball centers. He's somebody who, alongside of Asar Thompson, maintains that wing depth size that allows you to defend the high level wings in the Eastern Conference and throughout the league. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to be a lockdown defender, but he defends admirably. He's average to a tiny bit above average. He's not somebody that's going to be someone who's sought after to expose in one-on-one situations. He's not going to be hunted. He's not going to be like Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks, who are just defensive holes in that lineup. So he offers positional size. One thing he also offers is a dearth of experience playing with the Orlando Magic, the Detroit Pistons, the Los Angeles Clippers, and then the Philadelphia 76ers. He's been around the league. He's been throughout the Eastern Conference and the West. He's seen different schemes. He's seen different defenses. He's seen different roles, whether he was a primary scorer, secondary scorer, or a tertiary scorer. He's been on teams that have been rebuilding, have been competing for the playoffs, and competing for champions. These are the different types of experiences that these young players need to learn from. Now, as much as I loved Taj Gibson and his impact on the roster, especially with the bigs, there's something about a guy who's actually in that starting lineup, who's also giving you experience, who's also giving you insight into what it looks like to win in real time, who's able to say, hey, you guys, let's calm down. Give me the ball, slow it down. Let's get a quality shot. Not jacking up the first look. Another thing that Tobias Harris brings is that he's a shooter. He's somebody who has shot the ball at a high clip, at a high efficiency. Now, I know there's been dips at times, but normally those dips have come as a result of having high usage starters fluctuating in and out of the lineup, whether it's James Harden, whether it was Joel Embiid, whether it was going to a playoff situation without your number one option, Joel Embiid, and being in different situations. I think those fluctuations in his shooting had more to do with that than it does his ability. I keep telling individuals that there's a difference between the ability to shoot at a high level and the ability to generate quality shots. Well, Tobias Harris is a player who can shoot at a high level as long as you continue to give him those quality looks and that continuity within the offensive scheme and the expectations. So as individuals look at this offseason and look at the potential deals, something you also want to consider is something that we consider in sales, getting bang for your buck. How much are you actually getting for what you're paying for? When I look at Brandon Ingram, I don't see somebody that you're going to be able to get the maximal value out of what you will be paying. To end up paying somebody like Brandon Ingram 50 plus million a year, he should be somebody who is significantly better than Cade Cunningham. And he's not. I wouldn't even say that he's as good as Cade Cunningham. I would say Cade Cunningham is as good as Brandon Ingram right now, if not a little bit better, because he shoots the three ball. He can play off of guys, and he's more of a natural floor general and leader. He's more vocal. He's been able to step into that leadership role better, and it feels like he has a type of physical body that's going to be able to fill out and take more of the physicality of the NBA than Brandon Ingram's has over his career. So I would say that Cade Cunningham is better than him right now. And yet you'll be paying him as if he is your best player in only a couple of seasons. So I don't think that that's the best value for this Detroit Pistons roster. Now, when I look at the rest of the guys on this team, I also love that Tobias Harris, he knows how to do the little things that I think many times gets lost. And one of those little things is post-entry passes. Getting the ball inside to Jalen Duren, something that Jaden Ivey has struggled with mightily. Tobias Harris is the type of guy who knows how to play off of a dominant interior scoring big man with Joel Embiid. Having him on the perimeter, knowing that he needs to give looks to Jalen Duren, I think is only going to accelerate Duren's progression. It's only going to accelerate his development. And I think that can only bode well for the long-term value of this team. When you have somebody like him, remember a similar type of a player was Jeremy Grant. Right? He was a little bit younger, a little bit more athletic, but not necessarily as strong and physical as Tobias Harris is, who's about 230, 240 pounds at 6'9". Jeremy Grant's about 220, 230 at best at 6'9". But it's to say that when Cade Cunningham was rolling as a rookie, he had Jeremy Grant right there next to him, along with Sadiq Bey as well. But then in Cade Cunningham's junior year, which is really his sophomore year because he missed all of his second season, he was at his best when he had Bojan Bogdanovic next to him. Once again, you need a stabilizing offensive force alongside of Cade. Is Ivy ready to be that? I don't know. I hope so. I would say that I'm optimistic about it. But just in case, having a Tobias Harris as your third scorer, and if Duren gets rolling, you're potentially your fourth scorer, only bodes that much better for this Detroit Pistons offense and defense next season. And so I think the Tobias Harris pickup could be an excellent one for this team. I think it should be something that they definitely explore, especially if they're looking to bring in some offensive pop and some leadership, which is something that this roster is desperately in need of, some veteran leadership. But as always, I want to know what you all think. If you enjoyed the video, if you agree, disagree, let me know in that comment section. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share the video in your group chats, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to get at y'all there. Peace.